In an ancient storm, the forest hides something beyond every familiar shape. Tyrannosaurus emerges, the most recognizable dinosaur ever placed on screen. But prehistory held stranger creatures far beyond Hollywood's usual spotlight. Triceratops carried horns, a massive frill, and formidable defensive power. In nature, defense can be just as frightening as attack. Velociraptor was smaller than films suggest, yet still fast and dangerous. Museum skeletons reveal only a few chapters from an enormous prehistoric world. Elsewhere, unusual bones preserve bodies shaped into almost impossible forms. A quiet wetland hides footprints before their makers are remembered. But the mud warns of a giant animal approaching through the trees. Fern branches shake beneath the weight of something moving silently closer. A four-toed foot sinks into mud, unlike most theropod feet. Then enormous sickle-shaped claws emerge from behind the vegetation. This is Therizinosaurus, one of prehistory's strangest giant theropods. It had a long neck, broad body, feathers, and immense hands. Its size and reach made the wetland a dangerous place to enter. A small head and horned beak reveal a plant-eating lifestyle. It pulled branches downward instead of chasing living prey. When threatened, its three claws formed an intimidating defensive barrier. Even without keratin coverings, the fossil claws remain astonishingly long. Tiny grooves show they were living structures that continually grew. Cracks in the fossils only emphasize their extraordinary scale. One isolated claw once led scientists toward a completely wrong reconstruction. The claws likely hooked, pulled, and displayed rather than stabbed. It held its hands high while crossing shallow water. Its long neck gathered vegetation while the huge body processed food. Therizinosaurus proved giant theropods did not need to hunt. It frequently scanned the horizon for approaching predators. Broken branches and deep tracks marked where the giant had passed. In 1948, the Gobi Desert revealed bones unlike anything known. Only fragments appeared, but their size promised something extraordinary. A long structure slowly emerged from the surrounding rock. The final grains uncovered the shape of a gigantic claw. Without a skull or body, the excavation became a puzzle. Each fragment was measured, yet its owner remained unknown. Field drawings preserve the original position of every recovered bone. The fossils then traveled from the desert to the laboratory. Under bright lights, brushes slowly exposed their true shape. Matching finger bones confirm they belong to an enormous hand. The completed arms exceeded every theropod known at the time. Scientists first mistook the claws for those of a giant turtle. Later discoveries finally placed Therizinosaurus correctly on the evolutionary tree. Another Mongolian desert soon revealed a different mystery. In 1965, scientists uncovered two absurdly long dinosaur arms. Without the rest of the body, reconstructions remained uncertain. Researchers compared each bone with known ornithomisial relatives. For decades, nobody knew what creature owned those arms. Then new fossils revealed a high back, large belly, and broad feet. The truth destroyed earlier images of a slender predator. The creature was instead a giant animal of the wetlands. This was Deinocheirus, the largest ornithomisaur ever discovered. Its broad beak gathered food rather than tearing large prey. It moved slowly through marshes, feeding above smaller competitors. Wide feet spread its weight across soft, unstable mud. Long arms pulled vegetation closer across the reed beds. Gastroliths and fish remains reveal a flexible diet. It ate plants, fish, and other easy food sources. At sunset, its strange silhouette disappears into the marsh. The story now moves from a giant to something tiny. No roar appears, only movement beneath leaves and broken twigs. In this forest, strangeness does not require great size. Pegomastax emerges with a face unlike any familiar dinosaur. Its compact body slipped easily through dense vegetation. A short beak and projecting fangs define its bizarre appearance. Those fangs likely served display or defense, not meat-eating. It selected young leaves, seeds, and other soft plants. An open mouth made this tiny animal appear far more dangerous. Bristle-like coverings may have helped its small body retain warmth. Its skull combines a beak, specialized teeth, and prominent fangs. Worn teeth preserve evidence of repeated plant processing. Pegomastax remained alert because danger could arrive instantly. Raised bristles may have made it look larger to rivals. Strong hind legs and a long tail aided sudden turns. Body posture became a warning before any real fight. For small animals, avoiding injury mattered more than winning. Pegomastax retreats quickly into the dense undergrowth. Within seconds, the forest becomes silent once again. This tiny dinosaur proves evolution can create strangeness at any size. In South America, however, strangeness belonged to a true predator. A horned silhouette accelerates across the open plain. Carnotaurus runs with long legs and powerful, steady strides. A light build and strong tail favored short bursts of speed. Its short, deep skull followed a different hunting strategy. Two horns above the eyes inspired the name Carnotaurus. From the front, its narrow skull reduced its visible profile. Its tiny arms contributed almost nothing to hunting. A stiff tail improved propulsion but limited sharp turning. On straight ground, Carnotaurus rapidly closed on its target. Powerful tail muscles supported acceleration, not perfect running. Each stride remained efficient with little wasted movement. Strong thighs and the tail stabilized the rushing body. It was fast in a line, but less agile in turns. The head, neck, and legs performed the attack. Carnotaurus lowered its snout to follow scent and tracks. A strong neck stabilized the skull during rapid bites. Once prey appeared, investigation immediately became pursuit. Its charging body forced mistakes before the distance vanished. At sunset, the horns became a striking silhouette.
Look at
The real skull reveals large openings and reinforced thin bones. Digital models test bite angles, muscles, and force pathways. Researchers separate age, distortion, and missing fossil parts. Rough horn surfaces once supported living tissue. Rare skin impressions reveal a complex covering of scales. Scientists reassess the entire skeleton from skull to tail. The mounted skeleton highlights its huge head and tiny arms. Long legs and a strong pelvis supported the full body. The horns may have served display, though direct fighting remains uncertain. Carnotaurus succeeded because it was different from Tyrannosaurus. Therizinosaurus ate plants yet carried the longest land claws known. Deinocheirus looked frightening but lived as a giant wetland omnivore. Pegomastax stayed tiny, yet its fangs and bristles remained unforgettable. Carnotaurus combined horns, tiny arms, and rapid acceleration. Together, these fossils show how incomplete prehistoric evidence can be. Every skeleton is assembled from bones, comparisons, and changing ideas. Reconstruction presents evidence, not a perfect return of the past. One small bone can completely transform an entire animal. Fossils are exposed slowly to preserve every surviving detail. Each specimen requires years of excavation, conservation, and debate. A buried skeleton is the final record of a vanished life. Only a tiny fraction of prehistoric animals ever became fossils. With each dawn, another forgotten creature may finally receive its name.